Welcome Spies, Box here, and today I'm here to tell you about the newest member to the MarketSpy family, the MarketSpy Profiler. But before you can use it, you gotta know what everything is, and that's exactly what this video is for. This video is an introduction to the MarketSpy Profiler. So in the future, if you ever are asking yourself, why is this area colored and this isn't? What are these blue boxes again? Why are these lines dotted and these are solid? Why is the solid line, that's the same color of the day over here, white? I'm going to be covering all that, so you have a reference point if you ever have any questions. So let's get started. First off, we have these right here, which are market profiles. And what it does is it visually maps out where price spent the majority of its time all day. And if I turn on price action here, you see the day is from here to here. And you see the high is here, the low is here. And it actively, in real time, maps out where price was. And a huge benefit of that is, on the next day, you can make an assumption of where price will go based on the previous day's profile. We will get into that in another video. But moving on. So these are market profiles. Your colored area here is called your value area. And that is where 70% of all of the trades happened during the day. These non-colored areas is called your non-value area. And this is where the remaining 30% of the day was the extremes. And same with this. Even though the profile looks different, this is still your value area. You have a small non-value, and then you have more non-value to the top. So it doesn't matter the shape of the profile. The colored area will always be your value area. So again, you have a market profile, you have a value area, and you have a non-value area. And then this dotted line here at the top of the value area is called the value area high. And at the bottom here is called your value area low. This center line here is called a point of control. And what the point of control is what is considered fair value for the day, meaning the price spent the majority of its time at 21,800 on this day. And on this day back here, same thing, it was 20,460. So again, we have a market profile with a value area, non-value area, value area low, value area high, and then a point of control. Point of control is where price spent the majority of its time. Value area low is when anytime price went down here, there was extreme demand to push it back up. Value area high is people were willing to buy all the way up here, but once price got above this, no one was willing to buy. Demand ran out and supply overtook it and pushed it back down until we found demand again. And so moving on, this solid line here is blue, matching the day. And the reason for that is it's just because it's a normal point of control. This white one over here is considered naked. So this is a naked point of control. And what that means is, when price starts a brand new day, just like it is down here, these are all previous days, a new day has started, 0000. The previous day here, price likes to run up and touch that before it does anything. But when price doesn't, it leaves what is called a naked point of control. So let me give you a visualized example to help you understand it a little better. So if we come back here to this blue day right here, which is the 8th, and we let price action play out a little bit, you're going to see we've started a new day right? 0, 0, 0, 0. The point of control here is naked, because once you start learning about market profile, you will understand that the previous day dictates today. And so price likes to make a run up to the previous day's point of control, because remember from earlier, the point of control is considered fair value. That is where price spent most of its time during the day. So price on a new day wants to see if that is still fair value. And so we're going to let price play out here a little bit. And as you see, it starts to make a run, too much supply, but then there it is right there. Price makes its way. And once we get farther into videos, I'll tell you why, what we can gather from this. But as you see, price is supposed to rotate from the value area low to the high in a ranging market, and then it'll eventually break out. So as it's rotating from value area low to value area high, there's going to be that point of control, which is fair value. And as you can see here, we got to yesterday's fair value and nobody was willing to buy that price anymore. So we have seen a rejection at yesterday's accepted price. And so when that happens, what can we expect? Mind you, we have been running upwards for 4 days, and we're building on the 5th currently. And so most people will think, oh, we're going to remain in an uptrend. But we have just seen a point of control rejection. And so if we let price play out, what do we see? Price starts falling because we had that point of control rejection, right? And then a new day started right here. We needed to touch fair value for the prior day. We could not. And of course, we keep spilling. And we're going to keep spilling until we can touch that previous day's fair value and keep going up. So that's just a very quick introduction to points of control, but I wanted you to have a visual idea of it to help it stick in your mind. So moving on, you see these purple boxes here. And what these purple boxes are buy tails and sell tails. So when it's at the low, it is a buy tail because price came down into it and there was buyers, so there's liquidity there. And when it's at the top, it is a sell tail, meaning when we come back, there will more than likely be sellers waiting to sell that price again. And so let me give you another example of this in action. So when we were at this prior bottom, as we are here, price has gone down, we've left a bunch of levels. As it has fallen, we should have left a lot of those buy tails and sell tails. Perfect. So we see them here. And the interesting thing about these levels is there's tons of liquidity there. So price isn't going to chop into this area. It's either going to need volume to explode through it, or we're going to go up into it and then get rejected swiftly. So now that we've rewound price and then we have some of these as examples, let's let price play out a bit. Oh, that's a little too quick there. Okay, so again, we have some sell tails up here, so we're gonna need volume to pump into these zones. Go down, searching for demand. And then there we are. We see some volume come in. But remember what we talked about. Unless volume carries us through here, we will wick in and reject. This is liquidity. There's tons of liquidity up here. So we try it once. You see we come up again. We still can't break this level because we still have that. There it is right there. That aggressive, heavy move. It has to break through this. It has to. And so I just wanted you to see an active, and it works the same to the downside, but I wanted you guys to see an active example of these sell tails. So now moving on, you can see these blue boxes here. And these blue boxes are called single prints. And what this is this is aggressive price action, whether to the upside or downside. But later on, when we learn about auction market theory, you're going to understand that to have a balanced market, buyers and sellers need to be able to transact at every single level. And when you have a candle like this, you can tell it was full buyers in control. Sellers were not allowed to participate at these levels. And so what does that mean for us? That means that these levels will need to be revisited before we continue. It just needs to happen. These levels, sellers need to be able to transact at these levels. And so let's get a real view of that happening. So now, so far, again, we have a white point of control, meaning a naked point of control, which is going to be a magnet. Price is going to want to come here. And we have these single prints, which means there's an imbalance in the auction. And the market needs to be balanced, so we're going to expect price to recover these. We continue higher. There's our first one we just took out. As we spiked up, we had another single print here. We came down, took it out. We perfectly came to the bottom of this. And now we're on our way to take out the rest to help balance the auction. Now that one is taken out. And again, you don't chop through these either. If you gain acceptance in, expect a continuation. If you wick into it and there isn't volume coming in, you can see what happens. Swift reversal. But again, we still have more of these levels. And now we have two naked point of control. So now we have two magnets down low and an imbalance in the auction waiting for price to come get it. Again, we have that naked point of control. We've been on an uptrend. We talked about this earlier. Price is going to make an attempt to gain acceptance above this. But as we can see, it does not happen. And since we do not gain acceptance, where are we going? We need to balance the auction here, and we have magnets down here. There it is. There's that volume coming in. Naked point of control is now a normal point of control. And you see how it changed there. But we still have a magnet down here. There it is. We just took out that next one. And we have left more to the upside. And now we're at current price action. But I hope that gave you guys a good visualization of what all these features are. But we're not done quite yet. When we go into the settings panel over here and we scroll all the way to the bottom, you see show volume table. Let's enable that really quick. As you can see in the top right of our screen up here, we have F volume, AF volume, S volume, and AS volume. That stands for future volume, your aggregated futures, your spot, and your aggregated spot. And you can see current, meaning 1 hour, the last, the high, the low, the day, the 10-day, the monthly. You have all of that. And what's so neat about this is notice how it's 20 million right now. That right there on the normal F for futures is reading BYBIT's exchange volume. Aggregated is all of them. BYBIT, Binance, KuCoin, etc. And so if you ever want that feature up there to check out the volume, open up your settings, go all the way down, and you'll see show volume table. And then we got one more down here, and it is called show candle percents. We're going to enable that right there. And you'll see right here, we have our open, our high, our low. We have all of this and our future and spot down here. So for those of you who like volume, you have that right here. You can see that along with your market profiles at a click of a switch. And again, you get there by coming to the bottom, opening up your settings, come to the bottom, and that show candle percent right here. And now that we have went over the basic functions and what things are in the market profile script, I'm just going to show you guys a couple features that it has to help you. And so we have the colors of these currently, but for some of you, you may want the same color profile. You can have that. And what you're going to do is you're going to come down here and let's say, I don't know, that. If you like all of your profiles the same, you just, again, in your settings, value area, you uncheck that and you make it anything you want. So if you guys like a single colored profile, if that's how you want to do it, the option is there for you. Personally, we have them the colors they are to make it easier to recognize what came from when. And that's going to get more important when you guys learn some tips and tricks like this one here. So if you are level hunting and you're wondering, where's our next target? Where's our next resistance? Where's our next support? Rather than a normal trend line that everybody does, this is going to show you where the real liquidity is. And the reason is because prices, we have fair value for this day, fair value for this day, the value area low, the value area high. This is concrete. This is where price was. And so one amazing feature is this right here. If you want to hunt levels, you can come in, turn off your buy and sell tails, turn off your single prints, and then you're going to come down here, your previous value area bounds, and you're going to turn that up to 14. And what you're going to notice is all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days worth of value areas are being extended. See this here? All the way across. All the way across. And then you're noticing that we have a value area, a point of control, and a naked point of control all on top of each other right here. So guess what happens when price comes into this level? We're going to expect a rejection or at bare minimum a pullback to the next area of support. This is too much in one zone to not have that outcome happen. And that is a massive benefit because this is going to show you the clusters of daily levels like this right here. Again, we have another, what is that, 3, 1, 2. We have, yeah, again, 3 value areas overlapping. So if you have BYBIT Pro and you can cast ladders, imagine the game changer that this is going to bring. And it's not just value areas. You can come back here and do it with point of controls. We had 8 profiles, so I'm doing 8 here. And as you can see, these previous points of controls, here, 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 they all extend into the future. And so now you have a way better idea of where your hard levels are. Those value areas are good. You know, let's say an uptrend is happening. We have a cluster of value areas. That's a good break point. Then maybe play a dragon skin and then get your way back up into the trend. But these point of controls are serious levels. We already saw what happened up here when you get rejected by a point of control. We saw that, and this is what happened because of it. But this can only give you the amount of profiles that is there, which is 8. And so if we go back into our settings and then we say don't show value area, watch what happens next. Now we can go back and you have your value area high, value area low, and point of control for all of these days. And the important part about that is you can come down here to your previous POCs to expand and up it tremendously. So now how you had your clusters of value areas, you can now find clusters of points of control. For example, we have one here, another one here, and they're overlapping. So let's find out where price is right now. Couldn't have asked for a better example. So again, we are talking about the strength of clusters when point of controls are clustered. Look what happens here. We're in free fall to where? Point of control, right? When price was up here and it fell, where were all the main stopping points? Points of controls. It always is. Like, always is. But importantly is what we are talking about is when you have clusters of them, when they are together, that is the play you are looking for. That is even more support and or resistance. And again, the way you do that, we'll reset the chart. So we have factory settings here. And the reason we have to do it this way is a limit in trading view. This is not a limit from this market profile script. This is on trading view's end. But when Pine gets better, this will also get better. But right now we're limited by them. And so if you only want the levels of the profiles during the day, you can get up to 8. So we'll go down here and go 8. And then you'll see this extend, because these are all naked. So those are going to extend until they are hit. But if you want it from as far back as possible, you're going to go do not show value area. And then you can up this. I believe it goes all the way to a month. And then to help clean your chart up a bit, turn off your buy tails, sell tails, and single prints. And then it'll give you a far more concrete, simple, visually easily understood areas of support and resistance. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the platoon.